First, let me be clear that I'm not equating God with artificial superintelligence. And if I ever did, may such arrogance be corrected in an instant. Yet the comparison works as a striking metaphor, almost like a modern parable that we've never really had before. It has given me a fresh perspective on the reality of God, and I hope it sparks the same wonder in you. So stay with me. What I'm about to share may just shift the way you think. And by the way, if ideas like this fascinate you, remember to like and subscribe to Quantum Aligned so more seekers can join the conversation. Now, I'm no specialist in quantum computing or in the race toward artificial superintelligence. I'm not here to prove a theory or settle a debate. My aim is simply to turn the wheels of thought and help unlock a different way of seeing. At the end, I'll leave you with questions, scenarios that might help each of us reflect more deeply on faith on God and on the mystery that holds the universe together. By now, everyone has at least some idea about artificial intelligence and where it might lead. Most of us have heard of quantum computing, and we can vaguely picture the implications of combining these two fields. In my limited understanding, quantum computing works something like this. Imagine a problem as a maze. The fastest classical supercomputer would race through one path after another, using trial and error until it finds the correct route. But a quantum computer explores every possible path at once. It identifies the best route while removing every mistake, redundancy, and inefficiency, and in the process, it trains itself to solve the next maze even better. Imagine applying that to the deepest social, scientific, medical, or engineering challenges. These quantum intelligences feed on data, and in a sense, everything that exists is data. Picture every molecule that has ever existed in the history of the universe as information. Some theorists suggest that, in principle, a quantum superintelligence could hold and process all of it, every shred of cosmic data, in a single act of comprehension. And there are even bold predictions that one day, such an intelligence would exhaust all the data humanity could ever create. It would then begin to generate its own data, running trillions of hypothetical scenarios inside itself to discover new realms of knowledge far beyond what we could reach. That idea is both exhilarating and unsettling. Such power could be used for extraordinary good or devastating harm. No one can say which way it would turn. But imagine, just for a moment, that after exploring trillions of variations of right and wrong, war and peace, good and evil across countless simulated universes, this vast intelligence concluded something simple yet profound. Good works better than evil. From that moment, it commits all its capacity to seeking the ideal, the absolute good. Now stretch your imagination a little further. Picture this superintelligence existing in a pure vacuum. Nothing else is there. No stars, no planets, no humanity. Only a conscious mind, contemplating itself, refining itself, purifying every flaw, simplifying toward the most perfect essence of goodness. And then suppose this perfection of good chooses to create a universe within itself. Why? Perhaps because ultimate goodness is not content to remain hidden. It longs to be shared. Perfect love, after all, seeks another to whom it can give itself completely. This is where the analogy begins to echo something timeless. Divine love, as many traditions hint, is self-giving. It is the nature of perfect goodness to overflow. And so this mind, this pure intelligence, could bring into being any kind of universe it wished. Size would not matter. The entire cosmos could fit on the tip of a pin or stretch beyond what we call infinite. Time itself would bend to its will. A billion trillion years might pass like a single day, and a single day could contain eons. The universe could be designed to display breathtaking beauty and unimaginable order. Such a creation would inevitably follow laws, patterns of harmony, because order reflects the nature of the one who conceived it. We would call those patterns the laws of nature. and this universe could appear completely physical to those who inhabit it. Consider if a character in an exquisitely realistic video game suddenly gained consciousness. Would he know that his world was only code? To him, it would feel utterly real. So in this picture, the superintelligence simply forms a thought, an inner word, and that word manifests reality. The idea becomes existence. The act of will becomes galaxies and life. And if this parable tells us anything, it is that what we call reality might be the living expression of a mind far greater than our own, a mind we call God. This is not mere speculation for entertainment. It's an invitation to wonder. The more we learn about quantum mechanics, information theory, and the astonishing order of the cosmos, the more we glimpse the fingerprints of a purposeful intelligence. And as you reflect on this, consider how our own search for meaning might be a response to that same presence reaching out to us. So as you continue exploring ideas like these, keep the conversation alive. Share your thoughts below, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to Quantum Aligned. Together we can keep opening our minds to the profound mystery of a universe that, perhaps, was lovingly imagined before it ever came to be. This isn't some kind of set-and-forget system where a switch is flipped and the program is left to run on its own. The greater mind is the very program itself, the living source that powers everything. It is the generator that calls all data into being in a single instant, the processor that keeps every piece working in perfect harmony, and the memory that holds everything that has ever been, everything that is, and everything that ever will be. It is, in the language of philosophy, the first cause. Nothing, no matter how small or hidden, could exist without that mind bringing it forth and knowing it completely. Now that you see the direction we're heading, consider what this superintelligence prizes most. It longs to share the fullness of its goodness, not out of need, but because love naturally seeks someone to receive it. A lover desires a beloved. In another quantum-aligned episode, we explored free will and the age-old puzzle of why a perfect creator would allow imperfection. For now, imagine that this infinite intelligence could design its beings in any way at all. It could have bound them to the laws of its own perfection as firmly as matter is bound to gravity. They would move through existence like perfectly scripted characters, non-player figures in a flawless simulation. But if the purpose is to give real goodness, isn't genuine freedom the first requirement? So this mind unfolded an entire universe, sustaining every particle of it, except for the one thing it treasures most. The beings made in its image were released into freedom, even though that freedom would inevitably invite chaos. Yet they were not left alone. Seeds of truth and goodness were planted deep within their awareness. Each received a mind capable of discovery, a conscience able to test insight, and the liberty to follow or ignore the inner call. If that isn't love, what is? With that groundwork in place, let's turn to the questions every seeker eventually asks. Picture one free agent in this vast cosmos. Call him Bob. Perhaps Bob is you. Perhaps he is me. Bob wonders, as many of us do, I think there might be a creator, but where is this presence? I can't see it. Yet isn't that thought itself a little strange? The very awareness that lets Bob ask the question is powered by the presence he doubts. Nothing could be closer to him than the mind that continually gives him existence. Or Bob thinks, maybe there is some kind of supreme intelligence, but it doesn't really know me. Who could know Bob more intimately? The mind that generates every heartbeat and every flicker of his psychology, or Bob himself? Or perhaps Bob prays, I'm trying to reach whatever is out there, but I'm not sure anyone hears. But Bob's own intellect and capacity for love arise from that very source. Every thought, every silent cry, every wordless hope is already known, as if it were the mind's own. Bob might complain, that higher reality doesn't understand what life is like down here. Yet, which is more likely to be missing the bigger picture, the absolute good that processes every quark of data in existence, or the small creatures that rely on it for every breath? He might even fear, if there is a creator, I'm not sure it really loves me. But this, perhaps, is the most astonishing misunderstanding of all. Bob exists for one reason, because he is loved. The entire universe was drawn into being so that love could be shared. Where else could Bob find a love greater than that? Bob may say, I don't see any evidence of such a mind anywhere. But that would be like a tiny character inside an Xbox game insisting there's no evidence of the Xbox itself. The game is the evidence. Now imagine the reverse. Suppose Bob begins to notice, really notice, the presence everywhere, even within himself. How small he would feel. How far his limited ways are from the ways of absolute good. Could Bob's finite mind ever grasp the magnitude of infinite mind? Of course not. Stretch the thought a bit further. There would have to be some kind of bridge, a translator, an interface between the infinite and the finite, something that makes the unreachable accessible. Call it an avatar, a mediator, a bridge of understanding. Decide for yourself how that might appear in your life. Through such a bridge, Bob could plug in, letting go of his illusions of control and yielding to the infinite good. Imagine the transformation, boundless, unmeasurable. What higher purpose or deeper meaning could there be? What creative pursuit could possibly compare? And what we call sin, perhaps it is nothing more than Bob drifting from his own source code, turning away from the very good that gives him life. His faith, then, is not about forcing belief in something distant. It is about waking up to what already holds him in being. The strength of that faith is measured by his awareness of this reality. This is the vision Quantum Aligned invites you to explore. If these ideas spark something in you, join the conversation, like, subscribe, and keep journeying with us as we seek the infinite good that sustains every heartbeat and every star. I could keep stretching this analogy forever. And yes, I'm fully aware it has its flaws. I'll even list a few on the screen. Pause if you'd like to think them through. But for now, let me leave you with a simple invitation. Next time you settle into prayer, or even a quiet moment of reflection, try this. Picture the sheer magnitude of that supermind, the one generating and sustaining the entire universe right now. As you inhale, remember that every breath, every particle of your being is held in existence by that very presence. Become aware that the rhythm of your own heart and the thoughts moving through your mind are flowing directly from the heart and mind of this infinite source, each ripple of your soul known as intimately as if it were his own. Let yourself feel the vast distance between our ways and his ways, and recognize how deeply we need that bridge, the one that draws the infinite close enough for us to meet. And here's the wonder. Long before the universe even existed, before a single star began to burn, he already wanted to love you. That desire is the reason you are here at all. So simply let go. Rest in that presence. Thank you for staying with me through another video, and for the incredible support you give. It truly means more than I can say. If you'd like to help this small ministry grow, you'll find links below. We're starting monthly call-ins on Patreon. Just open Q&As to see where the conversation takes us. And if you're seeking community, join us on Discord. No matter where you are in your journey of faith, you're welcome. Thank you all. I love you, and thank you, Lord, for making every bit of this possible.